And then moving on to our rookie rankings, an award that saw Harry Sheasel claim it last year. Now, just to flag some criteria for people watching or reading in our rookie rankings throughout the season. Only players eligible are ones that haven't played a game prior to this season. So while some players like a George Wardlaw or a Sam Darcy might be eligible for the Rising Star, not so for our rookie rankings. As long as a player, no matter how old, hasn't played before round or opening round this year, they'll be eligible. So that goes from Charlie Dean on the weekend, who was a mature age recruit a few years ago, to Sean Manor, who's 26, 27, both eligible as rookies in our rankings. Just really need to make sure that they hadn't played a game. So really there were only 5 eligible players on the weekend, and as we start with the top 5 anyway, that kind of suits our rankings quite nicely. Now they'll grow across the year. After round 6, we'll extend that to a top 6. By after round 12, it'll be a top 7, and then after round 18, it'll be a top, 8. So just to start our rankings, and what might work from 5th overall was Charlie Dean, who I thought had still a very strong performance for a debut, coming up against a great opposition and a forward line where you've got Jake Riccardi, Jesse Hogan, and Aaron Cadman as your tools, and then as we mentioned, even Cal Brown as well. Factor him in, Brett Daniels. They caused absolute havoc and were very efficient in the front third for GWS. But Dean, I think solid overall. Mostly went head to head with Cameron. Had a couple wins, as did Cadman, and it was a pretty even contest in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good sign for Pies fans, obviously heading into the future with Jeremy Howe probably nearing the end of his career, that there might be someone to obviously replace him down back. Obviously Nathan Murphy's future is uncertain as well. So the fact that he got this game under his belt, admittedly maybe not his best game, he'd definitely put his hand up to say he could have done a bit more, but I think a lot of the Pies players could do the same. It's obviously great experience and exposure at the level. Fly McRae, obviously the coach of the Pies, is big on giving these type of players a chance at the top level, and obviously he'll learn so much from that heading into maybe round 1 against the Swans and further on if he keeps his spot in the senior side. Obviously, as I said, with Murphy, obviously unsure if he's going to be returning to football anytime soon, or even maybe this year, depending on how he goes with his ongoing concussion battles. But yeah, with obviously number 4 there, Harvey Thomas, he was a GWS Academy product, taken with pick 59 from last year's draft. Kind of a bit of a smoky in terms of those who probably weren't tipped to play. Definitely not in round 0 or opening round.
Pick 59 last year in November and straight into the opening round side. It's a good effort.
Yeah, and coach Adam Kingsley just believes that his pressure and his forward craft is something that the Giants maybe needed a little bit more. Obviously, Brett Daniels and Toby Bedford really play that two-way running role in between the arcs, probably better than most players do in the competition as a duo. So maybe someone to stay a bit more at home at the feet of a Jesse Hogan or Aaron Cameron when they do bring the ball to ground. That's where Harvey Thomas, and I mean, he had 3 goal assists alone. The Giants were just on, and he was obviously one of those aspects of the Giants that the Pies just couldn't deal with on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think similar to Dean, numbers don't jump off the page, but you kind of watch what he did and when he was involved. Certainly had an impact, pressure, big tick, and set up 3 goals and second efforts as well. I think when he turned over the ball at one point, quickly got possession back and set up a major. So that was pretty strong performance from someone that, like you said, probably you wouldn't have thought would be a chance of a debut only a couple months ago. In third spot, Seth Campbell. Probably a similar one to Thomas as well. Another small forward, but one that I wouldn't have thought would be as close as he was to an AFL debut. So fantastic to see him not only step up at senior level, boot a couple goals, have a bit of an influence. I think that Tigers only had 2 or 3 multiple goal kickers, and him being one of them is a great sign and likely places him in the selection frame again for a round 1 showing against Carlton. So great from Seth Campbell. And our top 2, a couple of demons, really started the round quite strongly. So Caleb Windsor at 2, Blake Howes at 1. Overall, we'll talk with Windsor first. Probably what we came to expect from him. It wasn't going to find a lot of the ball, but when he did, offered plenty of pace, plenty of run, and some clean kicking and smart ball use.
Absolutely, yeah. Windsor obviously showed over the preseason that he's dare and his aggressive nature of style, especially playing on that wing and maybe through the half forward line, obviously excites Simon Goodwin and his teammates. He can clearly break lines and obviously get that ball into the forward line to one-on-one contests where the Demons do need, because they're a bit short-staffed at the moment with a few players kind of out of form, especially based off last season, and obviously maybe not, the height that they did have in that premiership winning year in 2021. So they do need to look at different aspects and ways to, gain forward momentum and look at scoring shots and opportunities and so forth, and maybe add in that, that fleet of foot, that quick ball movement to get players like Fritsch out one-on-one, or, Kaiser Pickett is probably likely to come back in as well this week from suspension. Players like that, to give them a one-on-one chance will more often than not actually win those and obviously get the score on the board, which the Demons clearly do need.
Yeah, did a solid job when you also factor in he's coming up against someone like Errol Goulden on the wing. I think James Jordan, Braden Campbell, some guys who are certainly more, versed at AFL level than he is. So fantastic on his debut. But Blake Howes, I think probably unlucky to not get the Rising Star nomination. Matty Roberts did a fantastic job in the same game, though, to be fair. But Howes out of the 5 for our rookie rankings was certainly a standout, leading the game for intercept possessions for his side. Certainly stood up when I think Jake Lever copped a bit of a tag role from Robbie Fox in that kind of reverse attacking tag role position. So along with Adam Tomlinson and Stephen May, Howes really had to step up and take on some of Lever's normal intercept work, and I think he did fantastically. He had a few shaky moments, as you can come to expect with a first year player, but I think as the game went on, certainly seemed to mature in it, and really stood tall as a third tall option.
Absolutely, yeah. I think they've got a good one there, the D's, with Blake Howes. Obviously, will take some time to find his feet at the level, but obviously his versatility at the ground, and obviously being able to play, different types of roles, especially in that back line, will definitely hold the Demons' defence in good stead.
Yeah, probably a pretty good pickup. Only drafted a few years ago, so they've done well to kind of hold him over time. He's also had some injury issues during his time at AFL level, so great to see him get his chance and certainly take it as well. That will wrap up today's episode of Zero Hanger TV. Obviously, you can head to our site for all our latest AFL content, and on top of that, head to our YouTube page for all our latest episodes, as well as where you get your footy podcasts.